Officials say a key witness in the murder trial of former Dallas police officer Amber Guyger was shot dead Friday night. Joshua Brown had been Botham Jean and Guyger's neighbor at the time of Jean's murder. Brown's testimony helped prosecutors piece together what happened to Jean and ultimately led to Guyger's conviction. Omar Villafranca is in Dallas. Omar, what are authorities saying about this?
Well, Dallas police say they are investigating the shooting that happened Friday night at this apartment complex, but so far they don't have any suspects and they do not have a motive. Now, the attorney for the Jean family is also the attorney for the Brown family, and he says his client should have been protected after testifying in Amber Guyger's murder trial.
You may take your seat.
On the witness stand, Joshua Brown recalled feeling startled when he heard the gunshots that would ultimately take Botham Jean's life. Now, the Jean family and their attorney, Lee Merritt, are demanding answers.
To have a key witness suddenly be killed is suspicious. Was this related to the trial? There's no clear indication of that.
Joshua Brown took the stand in Guyger's trial and gave emotional testimony about the night Botham Jean was killed last September. Brown said he was in the hallway when he heard the two gunshots.
Could you tell if one of the voices was giving loud commands like stop, police, or anything of that nature?
Yeah, but no, that wasn't what they were saying.
Be advised, it does look like we have one on the ground.
The shooting that killed Brown happened at a different apartment complex than the one where Guyger and Jean lived. Witnesses described hearing several gunshots Friday night and seeing a silver four-door sedan speeding away from the parking lot. Merritt says Brown was scared someone was after him after he was involved in a separate shooting incident in Dallas.
Did he fear for his life related to this case or anything else in general?
He had been shot less than a year ago, and someone standing near him was killed. He was reluctant to testify in this case because he had been shot at, and he thought some people might want him to do harm to him.
Is there anything police department could have offered, any protection?
If he had concerns for his safety, then the county had an obligation to ensure that those concerns were met.
Hey, Omar, I want to ask you another question about that initial shooting that he was shot sort of a year ago. What do we know about that incident? Was anybody charged? Was he concerned about people coming after him?
It happened last year outside of a Dallas club, and there was somebody who was arrested and charged in that particular case. And apparently in that, he was inside of a club and they had a disagreement. They stepped outside, somebody grabbed a gun, and shots were fired. The person who was standing next to him was the one that was actually shot and killed. He was apparently shot in the foot. Now, Lee Merritt tells me that he feared for his life. He'd actually moved out of town and was trying to get away, but came back. And during the course of this trial, of course, we find out that he was living next to Botham Jean. He was hesitant to testify. The judge did not even swear him in on the witness stand beforehand. Everybody else was sworn in there in front of the judge. And the judge even said, you've been sworn in before. Came in, gave his testimony. He was hesitant to testify, but he was following what possibly could have been a subpoena or a court order to come in and testify, and did his piece. And that's why Lee Merritt is saying, this is why a lot of people don't want to come forward, because if they have something else going on in their life, they want that sort of protection after they leave, and he's saying his client did not get it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's sort of an indication of the level of violence that many people are living with in our cities. The Jean family is filing a civil case against the city of Dallas for the death of their son. What can you tell us about that?
Yep. That civil case was actually filed weeks and weeks ago, but of course they're waiting. They had to wait for the outcome of the criminal trial, and so now things are getting going with that. Of course, they're suing the city of Dallas, which basically runs the Dallas Police Department. That's how you sue a police department. You sue the city of Dallas, and of course Amber Guyger. And Lee Merritt told us that one of the witnesses they were going to call in the civil trial would have been Joshua Brown. He would have taken the stand in the civil case, but now that can't happen, Amber.
Oh my goodness, Omar, thank you so much.